Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be doing a guide on whether or not you should consider powering up the new versions of these meta Pokemon. So as you know, a new level cap is coming, and that's also going to impact the levels that Pokemon can reach. And there's certain Pokemon that are viable in the Great League and Ultra League that are close, either max under or close to the level cap or the CP cap for each of the leagues. And now that there's new levels, there may be some adjustments on what is the ideal optimized IV. This one is going to be strictly for Pokemon that are already in the current meta for their respective league. I will do another video if there's enough demand for it, for Pokemon that will be powered up and that will become relevant. So like, for example, Galarian Stunfisk will be able to be powered up to like 2400, mid 2400, and will be an absolute terror in the Ultra League. So let's go ahead and go to the video. So the rules are, we're going to compare old rank ones, including Best Buddy boost, and adjust the level to be as close as possible. In this case, 1500 for Great League and 2500 for Ultra League, to the new rank ones. So what I mean by that is like Medicham max is at level 40. It's like 1431, and then Best Buddy's like 1440 something. So obviously we don't want to compare a 1440 Medicham to like a 1500 one. So basically what I do is I take the 100% IV Medicham and then, you know, level it up until it's close enough, as close as it can, and still be under 1500. So I do the same. There's some Pokemon there's no adjustments, like for example Azumarill. The rank 1 Azumarill is still going to be, the old rank 1 Azumarill is still going to be the best one given the IV distribution and for the level it is. And then the new rank ones are obviously based off of the information that we have to date. I evaluated all shield scenarios. So the 0-0, which means that each Pokemon uses 0 shields. The 1-1, which is where each Pokemon uses 1 shield. The 2-2, each Pokemon uses 2 shields. 2-1, 2-0, 0-1, and 0-2. To see whether or not there's any edge cases that we want to take a look at. The list of Pokemon used in this comparison was based off the PvPoke custom group, and it's basically the meta list for each of the respective leagues. Great League, Ultra League, and Ultra Premier. I will give a rating out of 10 if you should consider building a new one, 10 being a definite yes, 0 being a definite no. Obviously, this is a caveat on wait till we actually get the information, wait till you actually need it. And the CPMs are speculative right now, so the real results may differ. So this is based off our best guess extrapolation of the current CPMs and how they might extrapolate to level 50. So again, the real results may differ, but this is should be pretty close. I think will be fairly accurate. But again, you want to take that into consideration. First one we're going to look at are the Great League Pokemon. So the 3 Pokemon that we're going to be looking at are Azumarill, Sableye, and Medicham. And then there are the list of Pokemon that we'll be evaluating them against, including their moveset. I think I made one adjustment, which was Clefable. I think I changed it to Moonblast. So here is Azumarill for the Great League. So the old rank 1 was level 41, 7 attack, 15 defense, 13 stamina. The new rank 1 will be level 45.5, 0 attack, 15 defense, 15 stamina. And as you can see here, there's a chart summarizing the average rating, the number of wins, the number of losses, the number of ties, and then as well. So I'll quickly show this list, then we'll go back to it. So like for example here, I have, and I'll be sharing a link to this. I have the Pokemon, the rating. So the rating is out of 1,000. 500 means it's dead tie. And then the higher the number, the more favorable for the Pokemon that we're looking at. In this case, all the cells in green mean that Azumarill wins that matchup, and the ones not in green are either a tie or Azumarill loses. The lower the number, the worse it is for Azumarill. So for example, if you go down 2 shields, as you can see, Azumarill loses pretty badly when the opponent has 2 shields and the Azumarill does not. So has 0 shields. So the key wins that you do pick up are Defense Deoxys in the 0 shield, you're able to survive the second Thunderbolt and as well the counters, and you're able to land the Hydro Pump and Ice Beam. So this is assuming Ice Beam, Hydro Pump as the moveset. You also win Hypno in the Zero Shield, both Shadow and Non-Shadow, which I think is a really big win, and Wigglytuff in the Zero Shield. You also win Pelipper in the 1 shield, and Toxicroak in the 0/1 shield, meaning that you have 0 shields and they have 1, which is I think is absolutely crazy. So let's go over those few examples. I won't do this for each Pokemon, but we can take a look here. So let's look at regular Azumarill right now. This is the default one. As you can see here, you lose the 0/1 shield. Obviously, that's typically the case. It's a poison type, right? So if we go to the best buddy rank 41, that's still the case. But watch what happens when we go to level 50 and we go here. Azumarill can survive a Sludge Bomb and a Mud Bomb and able to get off the second Ice Beam. With 4 HP, if the as long as your defense is pretty high, which in this case the defense is 136. If it's a very attack weighted one, like this is like not the best IV one, but if you had like a, let's say a 10 10 10 or even a 11 11, okay, 11 10 10, then it still survives. So you actually have to have a pretty attack weighted Toxicroak in order to beat it, which is actually pretty crazy. The next matchup I want to look at is Pelipper. So you can see here against Pelipper, you can actually survive a Weather Ball bait, or Hurricane, and be able to get out 2 Ice Beams versus the regular rank 1 best buddy Azumarill actually is not able to survive, and is actually not able to survive by quite a bit, and that's likely because of I'm not really sure what actually causes that, but as you can see there, it's pretty powerful for Azumarill. So my recommendation is a 7. Is your old Azumarill still good? Absolutely, it will do majority of the wins. As you can see, there's a very little rating difference. There's actually one matchup where you actually end up losing because you're not able to hit the bubble breakpoint. And as you can see here, there's not really a huge difference, but you do pick up some of these key matchups. I think the Defense Deoxys and Hypno 0 shield matchups are huge, and as well the Toxicroak 0/1 shield is absolutely amazing. So you can, in the lead, not shield and either burn both shields from Toxicroak, or actually win the matchup down a shield. So I think that's pretty cool. So my recommendation is a 7 out of 10. So it's probably good for you to do it, but it's not mandatory. Next one I'm going to look at is a Medicham Great League. So the old rank 1 would be 100%. So obviously 100% maxes at like 1431 or something like that. So we're going to put up all the way to 43.5. That's as close as it can be to 1500, and we're going to compare it to the new rank 1, which is level 50, 5, 15, 15. As you can see here, it picks up a huge key win, which is a Azumarill with no play rough, so Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, and this is not against the new rank 1 Azumarill. This is against an average Azumarill, and it's actually able to win the 0 shield straight Psychic, which is pretty insane. It's able to survive the Ice Beam and Hydro Pump, and then as well you're able to win Swampert and Tropius in the 0 shield and pick up Altaria straight Ice Punch against Altaria and win in the 2 shield, which I think is pretty incredible. You do end up losing the 0 shield to Ferrothorn, but again, because you're not as you're not as attack weighted, so you obviously do a little bit less damage there. And my recommendation is a 7. I think some of these matchups are really key. I put an asterisk there for against Azumarill because obviously if a lot of people are powering up new Azumarills, then you're going to end up losing that matchup, but it does make it a little bit closer. But picking up Altaria and Tropius and Swampert, I think is pretty decent, and I think definitely something worth looking into. But again, not mandatory. You can obviously just power up your current Medicham, 7 times, and it'll still do like majority of the same tasks. Next one is Sableye. So the old rank 1 was level 41, 100%. The new one's gonna be level 49.5, 113.15. I I didn't include the 0-15, I think it's like 0-15-15 or whatever the actual rank 1 is, because you want return on your Sableye, and the 1-13-15 is obtained by trading at Good Friends, because it is a special trade. Obviously, that'd be extremely difficult to get, but you feel free to change the numbers and adjust them to be like a 2-15-15 or whatever the number is. So a couple of key matchups that you do pick up is the Obstagoon in the Zero Shield. You're able to survive the counters. I think you reduce the counter damage from 4 to 3, which allows you to land the return and foul play to KO Obstagoon, which is pretty crazy considering that Obstagoon triple resists Shadow Claw. As well, you're able to pick up the G-Fist matchup in the 0 and 1 shield, and you're able to pick up the Swampert matchup, the Tropius in the 2 shield, and Altaria in the 2 shield. You do end up losing the Registeel matchup and the Swampert in the 1-2 shield. The reason why you lose the Registeel matchup in the 0 shield is because Shadow Claw it now hits like the more attack weighted one would hit a breakpoint, so the Shadow Claw's damage would do enough along with the foul play to KO the Registeel, but in the other case it doesn't. And this is a very high recommendation for me. This is pretty easy. The G-Fist matchup, G-Fist is probably the second most common Pokemon in Great League, so like if you're able to beat G-Fist in the 0 and 1 shield, I think it's totally worth it just to power up a new Sableye. Just for that, I know it's really expensive. It's going to be a lot of dust, but I would strongly advise that if you're looking to use Sableye, that you want to invest in a new one to be able to have that additional bulk while maintaining Sableye's phenomenal nature. So anyway, something to consider. That's probably my highest recommendation. The next league we're going to look at is the Ultra League. We're going to be looking at Clefable, Lapras, and Registeel. I considered some other Pokemon that are pretty highly rated on PvPoke's ranking list, like Abomasnow and a few other ones, but these are the 3 most common Pokemon that I know max below or in and around 2,500, and I think this is a pretty solid list. Obviously, you could include like Ferrothorn, but I include Ferrothorn in my next video if people are interested. So let's go ahead and take a look at Clefable. So the old rank 1 would be 100% at level 42. And then the new rank 1 would be level 49, 0, 15, 13. It picks up some matchups here. It's relatively the same. It picks up the Escavalier matchup in the 0 shield, which I think is huge. It picks up the Obstagoon matchup. You think like Obstagoon's a dark type, but it does have Gunk Shot, so it's just able to survive the Gunk Shot and be able to land the charge move to take out Obstagoon. It also picks up the Alolan Muck matchup in the 1 shield. It's able to survive the Sludge Wave and as well the subsequent Snarls and be able to throw a Meteor Mash and be able to charm down. It also picks up the Charizard where it uses 1 shield and Charizard uses 0. But it does lose to the Melmetal in the 0 shield. I don't believe Clefable beats Melmetal in the 0 shield currently, but if you're able to power it up to level 42, it does. So my recommendation is a 5. Do I think this is absolutely mandatory? No. Like picking up the Escavalier matchup and Obstagoon matchup in the 0 would be nice, but I don't think that those situations occur too often. The Alolan Muck in the 1 shield is the reason why I rate it a little bit higher. The next one is a Lapras. So the old rank 1 is, level 41, 3, 15, 15. And the new rank 1 is 42.5, 0, 15, 15. Basically no difference. Like, it's a very similar stat product. The key wins, Gengar in the 2 shield. I don't even know if I should include Gengar in the 2 shield. And then you lose Clefable in 2 shield. I wouldn't build another Lapras if you have a high rank Lapras already. For Registeel, the old rank 1 would be 41.5, 15, 15, 15. The new one would be level 50 at 1, 10, and 15. And you pick up the Armored Mewtwo, Giratina, both movesets in Giratina, Shadow Claw and Dragon Breath in the 1 shield, and Giratina Origin in the 1 shield. As well, you pick up Melmetal in the 1 shield, and Obstagoon straight Focus Blast in the 2 shield. So now you can straight Focus Blast Obstagoon and win every even shield matchup. It used to be the case that Obstagoon, and this is where Obstagoon doesn't have cross chop. This used to be the case where Obstagoon could beat Registeel in the 2 shield, so you just double shield and you're able to win the matchup. That's not longer the case. but you do lose the 2 shield to Melmetal. It's actually kind of a funny matchup because the Focus Blast does less damage in the 1-10-15. You're not able to lock on down, but because you're able to do more damage at level 41.5 with the 100%, you're actually able to lock on down the Melmetal. So this would be a 7. I rate it on par with Azumarill. If you're looking to optimize every win and there's going to be a reasonable chance that you're going to have a return from this investment, I think it's worth it. And if Registeel is one of the staples of your team, being able to pick up the Guillotine and the 1 shield and the Obstagoon in the 2 shield, I think it is worth it in and of itself. So not mandatory. Registeel still does Registeel things, but I think it's pretty useful. We're going to go to Ultra Premier. Again, we're going to be looking at Clefable, Drifblim, and Lapras. There's a few other ones that I could have looked at, but these are the ones I want to start with because I think these are the ones that are obviously max below or around 2,500 that are used pretty frequently. I could have included like Abomasnow and a few other ones, but we might save those for future videos, or if you want me to cover them and break them down, more than happy to. So let's take a look at Clefable. Pretty similar to what we've seen before. I think like the Toxicroak in the 0 shield is very similar to the Obstagoon matchup, where you're able to survive the Sludge Bomb. You're able to pick up the Abomasnow matchup in the 0 shield, and as well you're able to pick up the you end up losing the 1 shield to Shadow Snorlax because obviously your charms are doing less damage. Again, 5 out of 10. If you have extra dust, go for it, but I don't really think it's needed. If you already have a Clefable, just power it up. Just do 4 more power-ups, and that's probably sufficient, and you're going to be able to pick up most of the matchups you have already. In fact, you end up losing some matchups because your charm end up doing less damage. The next one is Drifblim. The old rank 1 would be level 43.5. I think Drifblim maxes under 2,400 without Best Buddy boost. And then so level 43.5 for the 100%, and then level 50, 115.15 for the new rank 1. You pick up the this actually should say Shadow Abomasnow in the 1 shield. It should say Shadow Abomasnow, but this is like kind of asterisk behind that one because that's like obviously the old Abomasnow, and obviously Abomasnow can get powered up even more. You're able to pick up the Snorlax in the 1 shield, which I think is very huge. This is not Shadow Snorlax. This is just regular Snorlax. So actually in the 0 shield is actually a tie. So you can go straight Icy Wind. And if you shield the first Body Slam, then you're able to win the 1 shield, which I think is really interesting because a lot of people counter swap Snorlax into Drifblim. You're actually able to win the Obstagoon matchup in the 2 shield. Historically, you would lose all even shield matchups with Obstagoon, but be able to bring it to the 2 shield as an option, I think is fantastic. You're able to beat Ampharos and Empoleon down a shield, and those typically are 2 pretty hard counters to Drifblim. So I'd give it a 4. I don't think it's mandatory. Do I think it's that big a deal? No. Do I think you can get away with powering up your 100% or high IV one too close to the 2,500 limit? Yes. And do I think it's going to be effective? Absolutely. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. If you have a lot of dust, or you have a really good one, or it's like a shiny or something, or you really like Drifblim, then it might be worth having. But I think there's limited return on investment. The Snorlax matchup is very intriguing. I think is the biggest one because a lot of people do like to counter swap it. And the Lapras in Ultra Premier, again, like you pick up the Shadow Snorlax in the 2 shield, but you end up losing Clefable. You actually end up losing Toxicroak in the 2 shield. So the rank 1 Best Buddy can actually beat Toxicroak in the 2 shield. And then as well, you lose Snorlax in the 2 shield. So I personally, if you already have a high IV Lapras, don't even bother touching and getting a new one, unless like for some crazy reason you really want to. But I think it's a waste of Stardust, and I think you're better off prioritizing some other Pokemon that I might be talking about in my next video, where I'll talk about some Pokemon that are way below 2,500 or 1,500, and that are going to be able to really shake up the meta. Let me know if you want me to dive into that video, into that content. But I think these are my suggestions. I think priority Sableye, Unfortunately, I think you have to get a return Sableye with low attack, high defense, high stamina that maxes near 1500. I think is a staple. Then I think if you really want to win as many games as possible, I think easy ones that are return on investment are going to be a new Azumarill, a new Medicham, and new Registeel. And then if you want to do Drifblim, you want to do Clefable, you can, but I think there's not really too much reason to do those. And I definitely would not recommend that you power up another Lapras. It's a lot of Stardust, and as well, you're gonna see very limited matchups, and there's actually gonna be trade-offs in some of their matchups because you're not gonna be able to hit some of the breakpoints. So again, this is all speculative based off the numbers that we're speculating to date, but I think these will be pretty close and pretty accurate and give you a general sense on how you should handle powering up these Pokemon. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see everyone in the next video.